We going?
Yeah.
Ah, cool. All right. Welcome, everyone, to the S3 Pub. This is actually just my basement, but this is where we solve problems. So, Wooly, you've been...
It's where we talk about problems.
Yeah, we don't actually solve shit. We talk
Let me
about...
see, am I actually going to be in this?
You're in there.
Yeah, I'm in there.
Yeah, it works. Come on.
All right. I want to make sure y'all saw my pretty face, my cool hat.
So what's grinding your gears today?
Man. Y'all, put your damn car on the damn street. We were just sitting here talking about this. We were doing some video on my little Fiesta. And it's like, I know we've talked about this before. I don't know if we've had a podcast or whatever dedicated to it. But where the hell did all the tuners go? Honest question, did I get old and move too far out in the freaking country?
Yes.
But no, dude, because back in the day, you couldn't escape it, man, no matter where you lived. It ain't me getting old. Like, I'm tired of only seeing imports, or fuck imports, like just modified cars at car meets.
I see a lot of modified V8s running. They're running around like all the import guys used to. The import guys don't.
Yeah. Maybe it's a South thing, but like the domestic V8s are everywhere. Mm-hmm. They've picked up the ball where we've dropped it for sure. I say we, like still an import guy, and I don't really have ties to imports, but like
you have an importy car though.
I have an importy Ford, yeah, but like for now. At my core, I identify as an import guy because that's where we grew up. I mean, even though you have a Mustang, like you're always like, it's a generational thing at this point.
I've
you know
always
what
had
I mean?
imports
Like
up until that car.
Yeah, and I'm sure you still kind of our team. You know, I mean, those walls have broken down. Import versus domestic. Like, I don't care about that. It's just like, damn, man. Like, where are the fun cars? I don't see them anymore. I just wrote an article. It'll be in the next issue. It's funny because it was just a car review article, and it ended up being like the editorial. Because I was like, man, I need to move this to the front of the magazine. One, because I'm dogging on this car too hard, and two, because it just needs to be heard. It's like, dude, like these cars that are coming out, aside from the big V8 stuff, a lot of them, and aside from like the CTR, there are some exceptions, but. Yeah. A lot of them are flat out half-ass attempts with full price tags, 25 grand plus. In a world of better used car options, Japan was making good cars for 20 years now. So you got to make a better car if you're going to be selling it for 25 grand in 2018. And they're flat out they're not making them, man. They're just not.
Well, it's not just I know we harp on the new cars a lot because we do a lot of new car reviews and stuff, and we kind of get sucked into that a little bit. But it's the used shit, too. Like, you go out to Import Alliance, and there are cars everywhere. And it's not like they're these show queen, dyno queen cars that need to be kept up in a garage. Like, these look like daily drivers. Where the hell are they on a day-to-day basis? Do these guys just have work trucks? Or are these cars too unreliable?
A lot of times, honestly, I think the internet has pushed people to go to the point of absurdity.
I can see that.
To keep up with the freaking, Instagram attention or the Facebook attention or whatever. You're kind of peer pressured now to build a car that goes beyond the line of, you know what I mean? Like, it goes beyond the line of performance and it starts getting stupid. The wheels are getting too wide. The camber is getting too much.
Yeah.
All that, even, and not just the stance guys, but, like, the boosted cars. Like, you've gone too far and you're running the thing within an inch of its life. And even if you're not, it's just not streetable. It's a freaking nightmare to try and put on the street, so people are running away from it. I wrote an article on this. They're passing the damn sweet spot. Like, especially in a digital internet culture, we need to appreciate the sweet spot. Not so much like, oh, I got something that nobody's ever done before. This is more ridiculous than anybody's seen. I'm breaking necks and breaking records. No, like, there's a lot to be said for a car that you can drive every day.
I would much rather be having fun with a steering wheel on my right foot than I would, doing something that nobody's ever done before just to get a couple of Instagram clicks. I love driving cars fast, especially through twisty roads. Why wouldn't you want to do that on a day-to-day basis? I mean, I try to drive that Mustang as much as I can.
I think for a lot of the younger guys, the guys that have really kind of come into this culture after social media, I don't think they get it like that, man. I think like the scene has moved online even more than it has on the streets and the mall parking lots and stuff like that. Like when
I
we
know
were
that stance has a lot to do with that, because I mean the gas crunch happened and everybody wanted to find a new way to make these cars as unique as possible, and stance was kind of the answer. And if you stance a car, it quickly makes it undrivable. We all know that.
But it quickly makes it badass in photos.
It looks awesome in photos.
We also know, because with the magazine, we're always like, oh my god.
But aren't we kind of past that now? Like, shouldn't we be past like gas prices?
Yeah, but I think
for years.
I think for a lot of the younger kids, the enjoyment that they get from the car culture, I think I'm onto something here, is not necessarily from driving their car, not in the same way that it is for, our generation.
Mm-hmm.
But their enjoyment in the car culture is the camaraderie that they have online with their bros and their cliques and their crews. And it's turned into like a nationwide kind of community, but it's online. Whereas like, for us, like our thing was the car was the ticket into the culture. And then you would just go meet up with people, man. You just kind of like, we had our Thursday night big chicken meets, and then, Athens had the Bell meet and all.
All right. Oh, I remember those.
But it was very much live, and in person.
So that's the difference. And here's my question, because I always kind of look at the industry from, 30,000 feet up. What the hell are we doing as a nation of import guys, a nation of car guys, to get new people involved? I mean, if you're not out there driving these cars on a day-to-day basis, showing how awesome they are, you're only in little subcultured cliques online. How the hell do we grab Terry and Brad over there and get them involved, other than bringing them to a car show or bringing them into one of these little subculture groups? Like, I don't know. I used to get, I remember before I even had a car, I would get inspired seeing these WRXs and these Hondas and shit running around my town, and that was what really got me into it. I mean, it was around the same time.
Yeah, you walked out of any little restaurant on any mall boulevard, USA,
and something was popping off. Yeah,
it
was awesome.
Dang, that was cool. What was that? And that's how it happened. And that's what I think, kind of a side effect of the car culture moving online, which is not all bad. There's a lot of cool stuff that comes with that, but you got to beware. And I think one of the negative side effects is that I don't think y'all realize what impact each and every one of you has every time you drive a car. Think about it, man. Every time you decide to take your fun car out, what do you think? 15,000, 30,000, 100,000 people pass you? How many of those take notice? The whole world's talking about freaking Instagram likes or Facebook likes. Think about the real impressions that you have on people when you're riding down the road and all these other cars are going the other way and they're all going, damn, that was cool. That's a real thing, man. That was absolutely a real thing. That's what made the import scene turn into this freaking mainstream lifestyle that ended up getting movies made about it. And when I was in college, it was at the height, and it was to a point where everybody was kind of car guys. You kind of expected it. It became kind of a normal, so what you drive, and everybody in college knew me, because of my car.
And the gray Eclipse guy.
Yeah, that was how we did it. It wasn't, I wasn't #carbon GST or what. I was the dude with the gray Eclipse, and it was real. And so you guys got to give yourself some credit, man. Putting the car on the street is more effective than any ad in our magazine or any freaking video that Donut does or drift stunt that Ken Block does. That stuff is all cool, but when people can't help but see the real culture at work, when people see 7 damn slammed out cars with big ass wings backing into an Applebee's or whatever, that has an effect on people. It inspires people. So I don't know. You were talking about the subcultures, man. That's another thing that we're always kind of bitching and whining about, because
it seems like all the Facebook subculture stuff kind of jumped in and replaced forums, which fine. Forums were old and tired, but I feel like they did serve a purpose. But now everybody's gone from being a Honda guy or a Ford guy or a Subi guy to it's so subcultured. I only like S197 Mustangs.
Yeah.
The
S550s are trash. I'm in Club S197. It's dude,
can't we all just love cars in general?
Yes, as a car guy, if you consider yourself a car guy, you should appreciate anything, really. To a point anyway.
Yeah,
but
not anything. There is
a difference. Rivalry is good. You know, like being an import guy or a domestic guy or whatever, that's cool. Like, that's why sports are popular, because there's rivalries. Everybody wants a team, you know, a flag to fly, if you want to call it that or whatever.
Everybody's shitting all over the NBA right now because it's not competitive anymore. There's one team that's going to win the championship every single damn year.
It's kind of a metaphor for our culture.
Good job.
I mean,
it makes it not fun. Nobody wants to play. Everybody just takes their ball and goes freaking home, and something like that happens.
You know, like, freaking, if you want to be a Porsche guy, be a Porsche guy. But
don't be afraid to hang out.
And this is especially bad in like Southern California, but it's getting bad here in Atlanta as Atlanta gets more and more and more, you know, metro and populated. Yeah. But like, dude, on any given weekend, the BMW guys are out there, you know, stroking the other BMW guys, and the Porsche guys are out there doing their little Porsche thing, and the freaking JDM, you know, nostalgic guys are out there with their little, you know, fanboy group, and they all got their drones up in the air, and they're all making videos and making it seem larger than life on the Monday when we all go back to work or whatever. But like, it's lame, man. Like, it's freaking segregation. It's racism. Like, you know, like, I mean,
it is segregation.
You know what? If you go buy an 8.6, be an 8.6 guy. Obviously, you like the car. Like, you know, be that. You know, represent the 8.6. But come on, like, you know, you see Nissan guys that are so subcultured. They only like hatches, or they only like coupes, or they only like coupes with V8s, or they hate coupes with V8s, and they only like coupes with SRs. And it's like, it's lame. But not only is it lame, but it's bad for the industry as a whole. Put yourself in a company's, let's say Ibach Springs, a spring company, Lowering Springs. They've got to now, instead of marketing in a couple of places and saying, hey, look, let's hit some of these import publications or websites or whatever. Let's hit some of these domestics. Let's hit some of these off-roads. They now got to go, okay, so we've got to advertise specifically to the 8.6 guys, and there's 40 freaking pages on Facebook, and which one do we, and how do we reach these goddamn influencers, and who is more of an influencer, and then we got to do that again for the Focus guys, and then we got to do it again for the Civic Type R guys and the Mustang guys. It's freaking impossible, and it's you can't have an industry, that's a hobby, but in order to have an industry, you got at some point you got to like admit the brotherhood that we're all kind of you know, in this together, and you got to stop getting so like, oh, we're, you know, whatever, 4th gen Accord Coupe Club.
And when you look at it that way, you kind of see and understand why like motorsports and racing in general has started to quickly die off. It's because it's too damn segregated. Like, one of the coolest things going back to competition is, let's just talk about just simple drag racing, because that's how most people get into their first form of racing, because it's the easiest, most widely popular, easiest to jump into.
You go there on a Friday night.
Go there on Friday night.
Minutes,
and then it's you know, exactly. It's a Dodge Neon SRT4 but versus a little Civic hatch or something. But it's cool because you get that head-to-head action, that camaraderie. But you know, it's all in good spirit. Some people take it too seriously. Some people gamble on it. You know, whatever you want to do. But it's all fun. And when you segregate and you put this group here and that group here and that group there, and the groups aren't talking to each other, well, now you don't have real events anymore. Not massive events. Like, I know everybody gives it a lot of shit because it kind of turned out really crappy towards the end, but Nopi Nationals was a crazy event that really did a good job of bringing the industry together. It brought out just a shit ton of thousands and thousands of people.
Yeah, forget the end.
And then it had all the advertisers there. Like, you could go there, buy all the parts you wanted for the year, hang out with all your buddies, test drive a car, have a bunch of fun. Like, it was a true awesome badass event. And there are still badass good events out there, but like, they're all a lot smaller, because whenever you subculture and segregate like this, it forces everybody to go their own direction. And when we're not communicating with each other, we're inevitably going to miss each other. We're just not going to meet up.
Yeah, it's like I said, you got to take the good with the bad, man. If you've got, you know, an Accord Coupe or whatever, like, you should be on those Facebook pages and you know, get that knowledge from your peers that have gone through all the problems that you're going to be going through or whatever. Like, that's cool. But yeah, to get so segregated that you alienate, you know, that it becomes an us versus them thing, it's just freaking lame. I don't know how else to say it.
Yeah.
Just sucks.
It's a little bit depressing that it's happened. It kind of reminds me of the whole Redbox situation where you took something that was maybe not the greatest product in the world, but it was good. It definitely had nostalgia and it definitely served a purpose. And you replaced it with something that was just not as good. Redbox being the thing that's not as good there, replacing big box stores. The fact is everything kind of has a place in this world, and whenever we just say internet's better and the internet flat out replaces it, well, at the end of the day, you get what you pay for. And we've been getting a lot.
This
of
is off topic, but if you haven't seen Incredibles 2, have you?
No.
There is flat out. I've only seen it once in the theater, but there is flat out like a scene that speaks exactly to that.
Really?
It speaks to like, well, we wanted free and we got it, and it sucks. It sucks,
yeah.
Yeah, they're definitely talking about kind of the same stuff, metaphorically.
Well, look at Walmart. I mean, we got to go way back, like 15 years, but when the big box super Walmarts came out, people were flooding there because the prices were so great and it put all the other business under. And as soon as they did, they raised their prices back up and you were stuck with nothing but Walmart for like 10 years. Now, over the past 5 years or so, they've gotten their competition back, and now they're just kind of a shit store with shit customer service. That's the next thing we need to talk about, is what the hell about the lack about customer service. That's another topic for another day. We're going to be here all damn night talking about that. Wooly had a little bit of a customer service issue with an online retailer.
Meltdown, man. I'm just tired of the digital world. I don't like this landscape that I'm living in sometimes. Yeah. I miss the days of freaking customer service and real people and real recommendations and things that just make sense,
Someone who actually cares about solving your problem.
Common sense, because you don't get common sense.
Help you right now.
You don't get common sense on Amazon or whatever.
It's the computer that you're talking to.
Yeah, if you do it wrong, there's nobody to go, "Hey, idiot, this isn't the part that you want. This isn't what you just shows up. It's wrong. You waited for 2 days. You're bummed out. You can't."
And
return
they just go, "Return it. I don't give a shit."
Yeah, we cannot take this back. Click OK to continue. What? But yeah, all right. Well, I guess that's our little bar rant for tonight.
Yeah.
To recap, can some manufacturers make some better cars? That would be cool.
That would help a lot.
That's one.
The domestic guys are doing a great job. You guys keep it up. Don't fuck up and stop making your cool cars. But you import boys, good Lord, come on, step it up.
Yeah. So I mean, thing is, we need more for 30 grand, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, like,
that's about the sweet spot.
I'm not a Ford guy anymore, man. But like, the Mustang is where the bar is set. Like, so okay, for 21 grand, you got to beat a 300 horsepower EcoBoost, or at least hang with it, right? And then for 30 grand, even less than that, in your case, in some cases, you gotta keep up with a freaking Coyote.
The new GTs make like 460 horsepower.
Yeah.
I mean, that's...
You don't have to quite keep up. Yeah. I mean, like a DSM never quite stock for stock was at a Mustang, but you got to give us something. You know what I mean? Like, come on, you got to give us something. Yeah. And then, as an enthusiast, man, put your damn car on the street, even if you don't want to, because it's not about you. It's about all of us.
It's about you at the same time. You will make more of an impact. If your whole thing is getting off because people love your car, the way it looks and sounds, no Instagram picture or YouTube video is going to do it justice the way that driving it on the street can.
Well, yeah,
you might not
reach
everybody goes in front as many people, but it'll make more of a difference to the people who do see it.
Yeah, I mean, it's real common that, that people always go, build it for you, and that's true, and sometimes we don't really listen to that, but it's like, man, there's, you got to drive it more and get that connection to the car that you get from driving it that makes you remember why you built it. It's not about, the community online. It's about, how it makes you feel. And I think that's what a lot of people have gotten away from. And then, lastly, the subculture crap. I mean, keep doing it, but know when to say when. It's basically the thing there.
Get your knowledge, but don't segregate.
Yeah,
talk to each other.
I mean, if you really love your, Fiesta ST, for example, show it to a bunch of people who don't already have one. Mm-hmm. That'd be a good start.